Yo, what's going on, guys? We're getting right into the action. The fight just started here. DeRitter, Nickal, the people's main event is going down right now. I hope you guys can hear me all right. The guys just got into the action, and I'm getting right into the action. We see DeRitter clinched up right now, throwing some knees right now to the body. He's throwing some overhands as well. Awkward clinch scenario right now. You got Bo Nickal pressing Reinier DeRitter, the larger man, into the fence. Reinier DeRitter has an over-under clinch. May look to dig that underhook. Right now, he's content to hold this position, throw knees to the body. Already, you see the pale body of Bo Nickal showing a lot of redness from this grappling scenario. This is where I want to see this fight in terms of learning more about both men. We've never seen Bo Nickal in a hard fight, in my humble opinion, in mixed martial arts. On the other side, Reinier DeRitter, he's typically the guy who's got a massive wrestling and grappling advantage in his contest. In this one, should be a lot more difficult for him to pull that off. So let's see how it goes. I'm excited for you guys to be here with me. Wow, nice shot from Reinier DeRitter. Good entry, but once again, Bo Nickal able to D it up. That was a great takedown attempt. That was even better defense from a world-class American wrestler, Bo Nickal. However, Reinier DeRitter showing he's not afraid to engage in this phase. I think a lot of people had convinced themselves Reinier DeRitter could not wrestle with Bo Nickal. Let's see how it goes. Reinier is a massive man. I have seen him pass the guard of Andre Galvao. He's a very high-level grappler. However, he's got a very difficult wrestler in front of him, and we know in the long storied history of martial arts, it is very difficult oftentimes for jiu-jitsu athletes to defeat pure wrestling athletes, but Reinier DeRitter has a lot of experience in mixed martial arts, much more than Bo Nickal. Let's see if he can leverage some of those tools and that experience in this matchup. Right now, guys, a lot of competitive jockeying for position. I can't say one man is getting the better of it. I think that if you had to declare somebody doing slightly better, Bo Nickal is controlling the position better. I think RDR getting the better of the strikes through this point. I do think both men have landed some decent shots. You saw some nice uppercuts and some right hands in the clinch from Bo Nickal. On the other side, you're seeing Reinier DeRitter chip away with small shots, with punches to the head and the body, with knees to the body as well. I think this is a really smart game plan from Reinier DeRitter. I wanted somebody to test Bo Nickal's cardio. Nice inside trip attempt from Bo Nickal, and he scoops out the leg. Reinier DeRitter is on his back. Let's see how the jiu-jitsu matches up with the wrestling. First takedown of the night, it goes to the American, Bo Nickal. Now we're in Reinier DeRitter's office. He's typically more of an active top player. However, he is well-versed in all positions. We saw it against Gerald Mearshart, as well as several other opponents in one championship. This guy has an active guard game. He's very dangerous here. He's looking to throw up submissions while Bo Nickal is trying to posture up and throw ground and pound. Nice short punches from Reinier DeRitter, and he's creating a hip angle. Nice job. He rolls through front headlock scenario. Bo Nickal goes for a guillotine, and it looks like Reinier DeRitter has rolled over the top into the top position. Huge mistake from Bo Nickal potentially, although DeRitter's not out of dodge yet. Nice job. Reinier DeRitter is settling in the top position, and I wanted to tell you guys the disrespect I was hearing for this man, Reinier DeRitter. I thought y'all told me he wasn't a fucking legit grappler. He just rolled out of a front headlock from Bo Nickal, who's a world-class grappler. So we need to get some things straight, and we need to put some respect on his fucking name. RDR is on top. He is controlling and pinning a national champion, a world-class wrestler from the top position. And I believe that people were disrespecting Reinier DeRitter's grappling coming into this contest. When you look at this man, he was a plus 340 underdog on paper. Does he look like a plus 340 underdog right now? He's in the top position. He's done the better work on the feet. I would say right now, if nothing changes in the next minute, we are seeing Reinier DeRitter win the first round against Bo Nickal and put people on notice that this guy is playing for keeps and he's not a fucking slouch. He just reversed top position from a world-class wrestler. Understand me. I'm not saying an American, no, a world-class wrestler in Bo Nickal, a guy who is very close to making world and Olympic teams and one of the most competitive nations on the planet. RDR is on top, heavy in the top position, and he is doing an excellent job. He is doing an excellent job right now. Look at Reinier DeRitter creating cross pressure, guys. You understand why Bo Nickal can't get up? I'll tell you. It is because right now, Reinier DeRitter's body is all the way across him. He is making him carry all of the 205 pounds that he weighs in this contest. Now Bo Nickal finally creating a scramble. Oh, he's put himself into a front headlock scenario. Now let's see who's got a better front headlock scenario. Oh, Reinier DeRitter passes along to the back. What happened? What happened? I said that Bo Nickal would eventually eat a slice of humble pie, and right now he's being tested in ways he never imagined in the first round of this fight. Reinier DeRitter is on his ass like white on rice. There's blood coming out of the cauliflower ear of Bo Nickal, and he's getting beat up to the body, beat up with elbows. Reinier DeRitter is on his ass right now. Holy smokus. What a fucking first round. I'm pretty sure Bo is bleeding from his ear, but I don't want to speak out of turn. It looks to me like that's where the blood is coming from. I could be wrong. Guys, that was an explosive first round. 10-9, Reinier de Ridder. I bet the plus 340 before the contest. I have no idea how the fight is going to turn out, but all I could do is try and put my money in good positions. And when I looked at this fight, I thought it was more competitive on paper than the line said that it would be. I think that's already been borne out. Have you ever seen Bo Nickal have to fight out of the bottom position? No. Have you ever seen Bo Nickal get beat up in a fight? No. And both those things, in my humble opinion, happened in that first round. So now we get to learn something about Bo Nickal. Is he that guy that he says he is? Is he a guy that's going to dig deep, find a way to compete? Now we get our answers. But you never know if you're a fighter until you get pushed in a fight. A lot of guys can beat people up. A lot of guys that take money to beat somebody up. Nothing wrong with that. Make a living how you can. But not everybody wants to fight. There's a lot of wrestlers that can go take people down and beat them up. But when they start getting hit back, they're a different guy. And I'm not saying that that's what Bo Nickal is going to be, but now we get our questions answered, and we didn't know that before. And that's what I've been trying to tell people this week. So let's find out who Bo Nickal is right now. All right? RDR's up in his ass. 1 round for RDR. 1 round for the Dutchman. Whoa! What a fight, ladies and gentlemen. God bless. I'm so fired up. Thank you all for being here with me tonight. I know you guys have a lot of options. I appreciate you guys taking the time. I hope that we see more excellent action. I thought that was a great first round, very compelling. The fights tonight, if I'm being frank, they've kind of put me to sleep, honestly. But right now, I'm seeing a very fun fight where both guys are engaging. They're trying to win, and they're scrapping. So let's see how it plays out, man. I think both those guys spent a lot of energy in round 1, but I'll tell you, man, I think the guy who came out worse for wear was Bo Nickal. And the reason I say that is because he was in the bottom position for a long time. Reinier de Ridder's a big body. He knows how to make you carry that weight. I think the explosive scrambles from Bo Nickal were a little bit counterproductive. He did it very late in the round. I don't think it was worth enough, but we'll have to see here how it plays out in round 2. Nice knee to the body from Reinier de Ridder. He's done an excellent job leveraging wrist control in the clinch to prevent big shots from Bo Nickal. Then he's punching and he's using his own knees to the body to really, really get some damage off. And I think Reinier de Ridder, people don't understand that this guy doesn't just have a background in grappling. He also has an ability to work people in the clinch and throw a lot of volume. If you look at what our guy Gerald Mearshart does very well as a baseline skill set, that was a huge mistake from Reinier de Ridder. He got greedy looking for a throw and has exposed his back to Bo Nickal, but he does an excellent job squaring up to face. What a beautiful job, and a nice knee, 2 nice knees. I think Bo Nickal's hurt. Reinier de Ridder is backing him up. Oh my, Bo Nickal is looking to defend himself. He just got hit with another big knee. I am not liking these reactions from Bo Nickal at all. Bo Nickal is looking like a man who does not want to be in there with a world-class athlete who's beating him up to the body. He's showing horrible reactions. Bo Nickal looks like a man who's defeated. Right now, Reinier de Ridder is walking him down with impunity, landing huge shots, punching him in the clinch, kneeing him to the body, and he's gone down. Bo Nickal just quit. It's over. Cash my fucking money, first of all. Cash my fucking money. Go back and read my article on Roto Grinders. What did I say, guys? On my article for Roto Grinders, you know what I said? I said 2 men enter this night undefeated, and 2 men will leave with a loss. Daniel Marcos, thanks for playing, buddy. It's over for you. Montel Jackson showed you what time it is. Bo Nickal, thanks for playing, buddy. It's over. Reinier de Ridder is who I said he was. When everybody tried to tell me Jack, guys, when it comes down to it, there's very few people that have a proven track record calling grappling dynamics better than me. Go fucking find me someone who did it better. And I told you guys, don't fuck with this guy. I said this is the wrong matchup for Bo. And I said Bo would get a slice of fucking humble pie. Eat that shit. Yo, what's up? Eat that shit. Plus 340. Put it in the... Put the money in the bag. I ain't fucking playing. Come on. The fuck did I say? You know I'm going to get receipts on everything, right? You guys know I'm going to pull receipts on everything, right? Because I said it. And I didn't say it just to fucking hear myself talk. So everybody who wanted to say, guys, when Bo Nickal was just a fucking figment of your imagination and people told you, who's Bo Nickal on Contender Series, I said, get the money. Put the money in the bag then. But I'm telling you right now, the disrespect I heard all week on Reinier de Ridder's fucking name, y'all don't know grappling or you didn't watch the tape or something. Because I'm telling you, you don't fucking simply pass the guard of Andre Galvao because you're an average guy. No average guy's ever fucking done that. All right? Show me the average guy who's passing fucking Galvar's guard. It's like, come on, guys, be fucking serious. All right, Odds Mug, God bless you. I have nothing but love for my American brothers and sisters. But when you run down Zack Ryder and you want to talk about how big up you are when you're literally the fucking man on campus, right? You don't have to big up yourself, buddy. Everybody already knows who you are. They know your credentials. But the truth is, he was fucking high on his own supply, and he thought he had it all figured out, and he got humbled tonight by a man who's been in 21 professional fights, by a man who, by the way, people were ragging on him because he got beat up by a fucking heavyweight, a fucking giant man. Do you know what that fucking giant man would have done to fucking Bo Nickal, guys? He'd have fucking broke him over the knee. I did not take the KO. Shout out to Tron. I took the money line at plus 340. You know why? I thought he could win anyway. Anyway. Thought he could win anyway. And how about this, guys? We came to Iowa, and you know who wore a University of Iowa shirt? Reinier DeRitter, because he's humble. And he said, I want to be a part of this. I'm not afraid of this culture. I embrace the culture. And you know what all the Penn State people did? And I say this with love and respect. I got my boy fucking C-Cat, one of the greatest fucking human beings, a great representative of Penn State. I'll tell you this, though. A lot of y'all Penn State guys were going a little bit crazy, right? All they can talk about is what Bo Nickal did to guys in Iowa when he was in college. Hey, buddy, we're not in fucking college anymore. We're in the octagon. And you know something? You got dummied up by a guy with a University of Iowa wrestling shirt, and it was Reinier fucking DeRitter, the Dutchman. And y'all can talk about American wrestling, this and that, and he got fucking smoked. I said it! And by the way, I'm pulling the receipts. Don't fucking make me do this, guys. I'm pulling the receipts. We're going to the Roto Grinders article. You know that. You know that we have to do it. You know that we have to do it. What choice did we have? At a certain point, when everybody wants to tell me all fucking week I don't know my ass from a hole in the ground, and meanwhile, it's y'all that were not paying attention or didn't want to give him the credit or wanted to fucking ride the Bo Nickal train. What happened to him being minus 1,000 in every fight? Y'all think it was an accident he's not in this one? No, it was because this guy's different. Reinier DeRitter is going to fight for a world championship. How about that? I'm going to repeat myself. Reinier DeRitter is going to fight for the world championship. How about that? I don't think people saw that coming into tonight. But now people have been awoken. People know what time it is. So here's what we're going to do, guys. We're going to go to it. And I'm going to acknowledge I was wrong. I did say that I thought it would be a sub-red decision. I did say that. So we'll go to it. We'll always take the good with the bad. But here's the truth. Reinier fucking DeRitter just showed everybody exactly who the fuck he was and who everybody said that he couldn't be. All right, ready for this? We're going to do some fucking close reading, guys. We are going to do some close reading. Traditionally speaking, wrestlers are often able to scramble with quality jiu-jitsu players, exhaust them with pace and ground and pound, and eventually win the fight. There are obviously many examples to the contrary, but this MMA truism has some validity to it because the person who takes top position is much more likely to win a fight with optics and gravity on their side. Nickal is more risk-averse. He has better self-preservation instincts, and he is a better natural athlete, but I still have questions about what he will look like. 1, from bottom position. How about it? 2, when his cardio is tested. 3, when he takes serious damage. How about we got every fucking question answered and none of them were good? DeRitter will likely provide answers to some or all of these questions if he does not get chinned in the first round, and for that reason, I consider him a live underdog. DeRitter can make Nickal pay for any mistakes on the ground. He can scramble with him better than 95% of the division, and he will attempt offense on the feet. I would make Bo Nickal a much smaller favorite, and I will predict DeRitter spurns odd makers and pulls off the upset. Nickal outlanded Paul Craig by 7 significant strikes, and I would take DeRitter straight up to beat Paul Craig, striking or grappling. Put that in your fucking pipe and smoke it. If y'all didn't have it before, y'all have it now. Reinier DeRitter is the fucking truth. And how about this? We had it on Patreon. I let people know. All I can do is try. I said it all week. I thought that the Bo Nickal love was crazy. Guys, when a guy with fucking cauliflowered ears that reps the great state of fucking, New York proudly, that reps the United States of America proudly, when a guy like that tells you it's not the time to click the American wrestler, believe me. Bo Nickal, maybe he'll come back. But I'll tell you something. Now we got to pull the receipts. Now we got to pull the fucking receipts because I took so much fucking grief for this one, guys. And I'm telling you, we got to go back and circle back because I'm not letting people forget about this one. All right? I cannot. Where is it? All right, give me 1 second here, folks. Where the hell is it? Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Ready for this, guys? Oh, this is one of my favorite just desserts of all time. Guys, this is one of my favorite just desserts of all time. Ready for this? All right. We're going to go switch our tab to right here. Share this tab instead. April 8th, Bo Nickal will be served a slice of humble pie for this. An elephant never forgets. Y'all thought I forgot, huh? Y'all thought I forgot. Zack Ryder, Section 9. Yo, we up. Never forget. Section 9, we fucking up. Don't let them put you down. Don't let them run you down. Don't let them tell you who you are. Oh, I beat this guy at practice. He's talking about beating fucking college kids at practice. He's talking about beating kids that were just out of high school at fucking practice. That ain't right to me, man. Like, you keep that shit in the privacy of your home. You fucking put out a podcast the day after he leaves Penn State. Listen, I have no personal connection to this, right? I don't even know Zack Ryder like that. But I'm saying, well, I just thought it was so wrong at the time, and I'm happy that he got the just desserts. And listen, I wish nothing but the best for Bo Nickal going forward. Everybody needs a slice of humble pie sometimes. I've been humbled before. You ever bet on mixed martial arts, you will be humbled by this game a million times over. Lost a couple weeks in a row, got it all back and then some tonight. That's the way that the cookie crumbles sometimes. But when you look at where we're at in this fight game, my fucking favorite thing is when I call something and I know that there's a chance I'm going to look like a fool. Guys, earlier today, I bet Ryan Loader, and he got knocked out in the first round. I basically knew the downside risk is he's going to go out there, he might get knocked out, but I thought in an extended fight he could win it. Sometimes in the fight game, you have to be willing to look like a fool in order to get something right. And I was willing to look like a fool with Juliana Miller, and we cashed in on that. He was delusional about his Paul Craig performance, says Anthony. You are correct about that. And by the way, yes, let's find it. Let's find it. Because you know that I had that too. This is genuine delusion. Fan of Bo Nickal, but he has lost the plot. Awful fight. Awful performance. Awful response since the fight. Call it like you see it in this life. Guys, that's all I ever do. And if you listen to my show this week, I said, all I'm doing, I'm not trying to be Johnny Sophisticato. I'm not trying to be, I'm so smart. All I'm trying to do is call it honestly like I see it every time. And sometimes I will be dead wrong. Ryan Loader, peace, love, and chicken grease to you, my brother. You took the long walk down a short pier, and we wish you the best. But in this case, guys, I stood out on a fucking limb, and I told you guys that I believed since day one. By the way, when he was going to fight Kevin Holland, everybody buried Kevin Holland for that loss, and what did I do? I picked Kevin Holland to beat Gunnar Nelson. Okay? All I do is try and look at the facts and evidence, and sometimes I'm right and sometimes I'm wrong. How about this, though? I said the unstoppable force, Jillian Robertson, will meet the movable object, fucking Marina Rodriguez. And what did everybody tell me? You're really calling her an unmovable or an unstoppable force? I don't know, man. Like, she has as many finishes in the UFC as Amanda Nunes. Like, at a certain point, you're going to have to give her flowers, right? It's like, how many other women are as dangerous as Jillian Robertson? Very few. That's the truth. And if you're going to give up free 99 takedowns, you're just going to get beat up by Jillian Robertson. That's a stone cold fact. So if Jillian Robertson signs to fight somebody and they can't defend the takedown, you might as well just go ahead and start penciling in the results there, right? That's the way that I look at this fight game. And I view a guy like Reinier de Ridder as, frankly, a much more proven grappler than Bo Nickal. And one guy was high on his own supply, and one guy had been humbled by life already. Reinier de Ridder thought he had it all figured out one day, right? He's like, yeah, I could go fight heavyweights, no problem. And then he got whooped on a couple times, and he was like, you know what? I should go be the bigger man. That would be a lot more fun. So I think when it comes down to it, that line is one of the most off lines of the year. Reinier de Ridder clearly is a hindsight favorite against Bo Nickal. If they were to run that fight back, do you guys think truly in your heart that Bo Nickal would be favored to win that fight? No fucking chance he would be favored to win that fight. No fucking chance he would be waived. No chance. So I appreciate everybody that rocks with me. I'm sorry if I'm coming off like an asshole today. If you are a fucking huge Bo Nickal fan, this is just the kind of things where when you sit in this chair, guys, you get made fun of when you get it wrong. You get the slings and arrows when you have a bad week and all those things. It comes with the business. I understand that. But when you're right, you got to celebrate the wins and own the losses. That's truly what I believe. And I'm going to take a fucking toast to all you guys, to the sharpest chat in the game, to God who blessed this day before I did a thing, before I got out of bed. And Lord willing, we keep stacking good days on top of another. Thank you all for being here. Yo, guys, I know what you're really here for. Now you guys want to talk about this main event of the evening, and I get it. I do too. I got to really quick say, fucking love you all to the Patreon. Guys, we have been fucking slamburying it in the chat tonight, and I wanted to just say, I try and put as much as I can on the timeline, do the show every week for free. This show will be for free each and every week. But I do a lot of fucking research, guys, like a painstaking, nerdy amount of research. I'll show you a little bit of what I'm talking about. Let's go ahead and take a look at what goes into getting it right. Because I always say I won't get it right every time, but this is what it takes for me to get it right as often as I do, okay? Is this right here. So let's go UFC Des Moines, and we'll go to the navigation doc. So every week, guys, this is where my process begins. And I will use this as a leverage point to show you guys my thoughts on the main event as well. So here we go. This, guys, is what I make every week, all right? This is the navigation doc. This is my fucking mecca of my fighting information. So I take all the previous write-ups, information, fight notes, everything that I've done over the years, because I've been doing this shit for a very long time. And I acquire all of it for every fighter on the card. So from Quang Lee all the way on up to Cory, Sandhagen, and Deiveson, Figueiredo, every write-up I've ever done, every piece of notes that I've ever dissembled is all cataloged down there. So if you want to see where I got my information from, my facts, my data, it's all written out. It's all there. Then it's like, okay, up here, this is my fight card. And I always tell people, I try and put people in a position to succeed, whether you approach the game the way I do or not. I have a specific approach. I try and be, medium to low volume because I don't want to go on emotional roller coasters each and every week. I try and ride the middle path. I try and find my path to even success. Everybody's got a different approach. So then what I do is I have the A-side report. I share this for free every week. You guys can take a look at it if you want. I share it on Patreon. You don't have to be a member to see that. It's shared for everybody. I share it on my YouTube community page. I never know who sees that or not, but it's there like every week. So if you guys are interested, you could always check that out. For this main card, right, we'll go to the betting strategy guide. And this is my baby right here. Every week, I try and distill how you would bet on every fight on the card. And I don't advocate betting every fight on the card, but some people like to do that or at least have the option. So let's go look at this, right? So I got the props wrong for our guy, Reinier de Ridder, unfortunately. I thought it was going to be the sub or the decision. However, we got the money line side, right? Plus 3XX. If you look down here, this is the main event. I thought that from a money line standpoint, it's figure pass at like plus 500 or whatever he was, earlier this week. But frankly, it's just like, it's not the kind of fighter I want to be betting on, a guy who's up there in age. And frankly, I feel like he's been showing worse performances in his recent run. I thought he was very fortunate to not get stopped by Petr Yan, to tell you the truth. And I also believe that Petr Yan, the version that fought Cory Sandhagen a few years ago, was a much more confident, dominant, scary version of Petr Yan than the version that we saw against Deiveson Figueiredo. So for me, that's a little bit of a pause for the cause, right? I look at here, let's up the font on this so that way everybody can see it okay. So we'll up the font here. So here we go. So my rationale for this fight, pretty straightforward. Figgy's an awesome fighter. I think his time is up. I think that it's Cory Sandhagen's time. So when you're asking, like, how would I approach this fight? I have nothing on this one. I've done really, really well tonight. I honestly don't feel the need to extend myself onto this fight. If I was to make it click, it would be Cory Sandhagen inside the distance and or Cory Sandhagen via KO. I do think he's going to knock out Deiveson Figueiredo. If you're asking me my personal opinion, do I think there's massive value at plus 4XX? Not necessarily, but I don't think it's the worst click that you could ever make. The problem for me is just that I think Cory could clip him, follow him to the ground. We've seen Cory have fully locked in chokes on Rob Font, and he had like a torn labrum or something, so he wasn't able to fully cinch it and finish the choke. So for me, the way that I'm looking at this, I kind of feel like, if Figueiredo's to win this fight, more often than not, he's got to mix in the takedowns. He's got to land something big on Cory. He's got to open up a cut on him. He's got to hurt him to the body. I feel like he's got to do something drastic to change the course of this fight, because I think Sandhagen's got too much output, too much offense, a little too slick, a little too good in the footwork, honestly too big, I think, for Figueiredo. If you look at Figueiredo, he's a former 125-pound champion. If you look at Cory Sandhagen, guys, he fought at 145 pounds on the regional scene. Yes, Moyes, we fucking told you. We fucking told you. Shout out to my boy, Moyes. I appreciate you, my man. When it comes down to it, I think you got elite main event, right? It's two good fighters, but I think right now, Cory Sandhagen's the guy. So for me, hands clean of this main event, guys. It's been like probably a 10-unit win on the night. I have to do all the math, but it's been a very, very good night. So I don't need to get invested in this one. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to call it for everybody. I'm going to try and be as objective as possible. I don't even have $1 on this one, right? So I could truly just give you guys my sincere thoughts and beliefs. And what we'll do is we'll get this off the screen. But just wanted to share a little bit, guys, of what goes into the process. I write hundreds and hundreds of words about these fights each and every week for my article for Roto Grinders, for the people that are in the Patreon, for myself to think through it clearly. To write well is to think clearly. That's why it's so hard. So for me, it's like every time that we get to the end of one of these long excursions of a fight week, it always feels great when we get the right results, when we feel like the reads are dialed in. And I think most importantly this week, the confidence was there. I took a lot more shots than I have been the last couple of weeks. And I've been struggling the last couple of weeks, but my reads have been on point. So it's been very frustrating where I've been having a lot of the right reads and then not seeming to get the right run out of results. And basically I'd be picking, 2 or 3 bets to take. And then everything else that I thought on the card would come to fruition, except for the things that I bet on. So for me this week, I was a little bit more open with myself. Hey, take a little bit more risks, be a little bit more fluid in your approach, be a little bit more flexible. And I'm very proud of the results and how it turned out. We'll go over the results after we get done with the fight here. But right now, guys, we are absolutely dialed in for the main event. For me, this is, one of the best, fights on the card, right? When you look at it, the main event for me, that already took place, right? You have Reinier, Bo Nickal. For me, that was the main event of the evening, the people's main event. Like I said, this one though, elite bantamweight contest. Even that fight with Petr Yan that I thought was relatively one-sided, I thought that was still a fight where we saw a lot of, good skill from him, right? We still saw that he wants to be there. He's trying to fight. It's just a young man's game, right? And when you've got a guy who's fighting up in size and he's already a little bit older and the fragility is maybe starting to creep in, I just think that there's a lot of things, where maybe the reaction time slows down just a touch. And a guy like Figgy fights with his hands down, that could be such a huge problem for him. I think people have kind of forgotten that Cory is dangerous in a lot of positions. I believe he submitted, maybe it was Yuri Alcantara, or maybe he beat the shit out of Yuri Alcantara and submitted Mario Bautista. But essentially, the guy started his UFC run very violently. And now, people are not giving him as much credit, even though he stopped Song Yadong with a cut. It's like, I know it's a cut, so you don't want to give him the full credit, but it's like he busted up his face, right? It's like you got to give somebody some credit for doing damage. And I think that, one of the component pieces that a fighter needs is the ability to prevent damage, to cause damage to their opponents, like visible damage. And you go back and watch Cory Sandhagen spinning kick Marlon Moraes and literally points at him and goes, "I broke your orbital." Like, Cory is a bad dude, man. He's got a lot of malice in his heart when he fights in that cage. So let's see how it goes tonight, man. Round 1, we are underway. If you guys want to sync up your clock, 4:54, 53, 52, and we're off. Man, Cory Sandhagen's taking a long stance. He's keeping his lead hand in the face of Figueiredo. Figueiredo, classic upright stance right now, keeping his chin a little bit back, kind of doing that flowy motion. If y'all have seen him fight before, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Nice low kick from our guy Figueiredo to open up the dance. And he instantly shoots for a takedown, unable to get it. Cory seems to have done a very good job, not only defending the takedown, but getting right back into an advantageous clinch position. Cory Sandhagen already showing that length, that size. He's pushed his opponent back to the fence, and the clinch battle is underway. Nice knee to the body from Cory Sandhagen. It looks to me like he's trying to set up a trip at the ankle against his opponent. He's got one foot up in the air from Figueiredo. Figueiredo is trying to create space using that wedge. And now he's able to create a nice uppercut in the pocket. However, he's still backed up behind the black line. He just walked onto 2 stiff jabs from Sandhagen. Sandhagen's showing a lot of stance switches early. You're seeing Figueiredo try and match him. But so far, I think Sandhagen's doing a better job disguising his offense. Very light on his feet. Nice job with the calf kick from Sandhagen. They're both using some feints now, but I think Sandhagen's feints are a little bit more believable. He's also implementing level changes as a feint, which I think is really smart from him. Nice stance switching from both men, trying to create angles. I think Cory's doing a good job getting reactions. Oh, nice uppercut from Cory Sandhagen. I didn't mean to have such a huge reaction. Beautiful takedown from Deiveson Figueiredo. And now he's looking to follow up and take the back, but he's gone way too high. He's going to fall right over the top. Brilliant counter grappling from Cory Sandhagen. He's not fully out of dodge yet, but I do think that Figueiredo's gotten far too high and he's going to get sat to his butt. Beautiful job. I have to say, the improvements that Cory Sandhagen has made in the grappling, as well as in his focus and determination from the opening bell, is nothing short of astounding. You watch that Aljamain Sterling fight, and he was not defensively responsible whatsoever in the clinch, and he was not ready to go from the opening bell. And now I think we've seen such a drastic improvement from him in that Umar Nurmagomedov fight. You know, I think, what was it, like less than 5 minutes and a half of control time, and he got like 5 takedowns. Like, Cory Sandhagen's basically saying, like, you're not just going to control me on the ground no more. That's not going to be the way you beat me. Maybe, you can mix all your skills together and get the better of me. But he's doing a great job of ground and pound and stacking up the guard of Deiveson Figueiredo. This is a very interesting position. Shout out to Steven Jackson in the chat, says he just liked the video. Shout out to Tristan, one of the regulars around here. We really appreciate you, brother. Says, everyone, make sure to like the video. Liam was one of the few with accurate perspective pre-fight on Bo versus RDR. Thank you very much, my brother. I really appreciate that. Also, we got Officer Juice saying, God bless everybody here. I could not agree more. God bless each and every one of you guys. Thank you. I know you have a lot of options in this space, man, and I really appreciate you guys taking the time out of your day to come listen to me, come talk with me. I'm always interested in what you guys think as well. It's not a one-way conversation. So anything you guys got to say, always fire away in the chat. I really appreciate it. All right, guys, we're in an awkward leg entanglement. It'd be a lie to say anything else. You've got Figueiredo trying to work his way back up the body and showing a great sophistication now. He looks to be entering on some kind of leg attack. You saw Sandhagen try and roll out of it. Very uncomfortable scramble, guys. I got to say, when I am grappling myself, one thing I like to do is the John Danaher expression, exit the system, right? I'm not looking to get into these crazy leg entanglements with people because there's a lot of guys super well-versed in the leg locks that like hanging out in these positions, and you never know when they're going to tweak something. It looks like Deiveson Figueiredo has some kind of attempt at a heel hook, but he did not have the knee line. Oh, wow, Cory Sandhagen's getting vicious with the ground and pound on top. I don't mean to get serious on y'all, but he just started getting after him. Dude, Deiveson Figueiredo's ability to enter legs from bottom is nothing short of astounding. But Cory Sandhagen's ability to exit the system smoothly and without issue is phenomenal. High-level fighting from both of these guys. I just think you're seeing Sandhagen's a step ahead in the speed, the aggression, the athleticism, the size. I think he's got a lot of things cooking right now in the first round. And I think Figueiredo is doing – he's making the best of a bad situation, but these are huge elbows now. Getting through for Cory Sandhagen in the first round. He might – guys – he might put him away here if Figueiredo's not careful. He's in a really bad spot. Figueiredo's been rendered defensive, I would say, at this point in the round. There's about 12 seconds left. I think that's going to save him. But Cory Sandhagen's been on his ass like white on rice, and he's beating the shit out of this guy, kind of like I expected. Holy smokes. Cory Sandhagen right now is on fire, and I think he just offered him a hand up because he knows what he just did to him. Guys, Figueiredo, dead serious, between you and me, he's got his fucking ass whooped in that first round. That was a one-way ass whooping. Cory Sandhagen was the one swinging the hammer. If he takes another round like that, I would not be surprised if the corner threw in the towel straight up. I could be off my rocker, but I'm just telling you again. I always say I try and call it like I see it. I thought that was a vicious beatdown by Cory Sandhagen. It looked like he was trying to mercy kill an old man out there. That was brutal. Again, credit where it's due. Figueiredo's entering the legs. He's trying to do things right, man. He's trying to keep it going. But he was getting his fucking ass whooped, man. And A lot of brutal ground and pound from Cory. What you're seeing a lot from Cory that's so smart, he's balancing his opponent's hips underneath him. So he's stacking weight on the hips. That's going to prevent his opponent from escaping. It's going to prevent his opponent from making drastic movements because he's stuffing the hips. And then he's using wrist control with one hand and free blows with the other hand. He's doing a number on his opponent through one. And right now, Cory Sandhagen looks like $1 million. Let's see how round 2 progresses. Man, and again, these guys are halfway across the octagon from each other, and the visual is striking. You have a massive frame in Cory Sandhagen. Looks like he could easily fight up at 145 pounds, and Deiveson Figueiredo, who is just simply not the same size. Nice inside low kick from Cory. They've exchanged low kicks a few times now. I think if you're looking for paths for Figueiredo, he's going to want to try and exchange these low kicks. He's going to want to try and take away some of the fluidity, some of the movement of Cory Sandhagen, some of the base as well in those grappling exchanges. Tristan asked in the chat, was anybody impressed with Bikoev? I think that Bikoev did a fine job. He did a great job, as a matter of fact. He was very aggressive looking for the finish. I think that he's shown better finishing instincts in his recent fights. I do think he's got a well-rounded skill set in the sense that he could go out there and knock out some guys like Loader that are inexperienced and maybe that needed to wrestle in order to win the fight, maybe needed to extend it a little bit. Whereas, Zach Reese, I really don't know what to take away from that win. I don't know how to evaluate Zach Reese in the UFC. I'm not quite sure that he's a UFC level fighter at this point. So for me, Bikoev still has a little bit to prove. I thought the Lucas Fernando fight was a fine look in terms of it was dominant, but a couple times he almost got swept. Didn't love some of the visuals on the feet. So I think Bikoev has enough sketchy footage that I'm not going to get over hyped on the guy yet, but I also think that he did the job tonight, right? He did exactly what he was supposed to do as a big favorite, go out there, deliver a knockout in the first round. He took some chances. He took some risks. I thought he was tired when he got the finish, but hey, if you sell out for the finish and you get it, mission accomplished. Cory Sandhagen, guys, I got to go back to this fight and say he just got taken down. He just got dumped to his back. But what he had been doing up to that point was sensational, creating so much damage. Now they're in a crazy leg locking exchange. You're seeing Figueiredo make a massive mistake, guys. They were in a leg lock battle. Figueiredo went to sit back to a guard attack, and now he's got Cory Sandhagen on top of him. And he did a good job pushing away, getting feet on hips. But I think right now the only safe place for Figueiredo is the top position or the back. I think he's getting worked at distance. I think that he is uncomfortable with Cory's length and Cory's power. I think that Cory has stung him with several beautiful uppercuts to intercept the shots. So, man, I just think right now Figueiredo's up Schitt's Creek without a paddle if he doesn't change something. And he just got taken down, blasted off his feet. Once again, you're seeing size be a factor. Cory Sandhagen is on his ass, beating him down. Brutal ground and pound once again. Wrist control from Sandhagen. Nice up kick from Deiveson Figueiredo. But I just don't think that Figueiredo has enough offense right now. He's getting past. You're seeing Cory Sandhagen occupy the top half guard, and he looks very comfortable here. Guys, I don't know that Figueiredo's landed a single shot in this fight. He's landed a handful of low kicks, but I don't know that he's landed a head strike in this contest. I don't want to speak out of turn, but I haven't seen one. Cory Sandhagen is looking to set up a head and arm choke. I can tell you that now. I don't know if he's going to be able to do so, but watching the way he's approaching with offense, that's what it looks like to me. He has several times threatened to come off to his side. You're seeing Deiveson Figueiredo keep an active, feet on hips type of guard. But right now, all he could do is try and block, get some wrist control, push away on the hips. He has absolutely no answers for Cory Sandhagen. His leg attacks have been rendered moot. He's getting walloped. And I think you're seeing size, youth, and aggression play a huge factor in the favor of Cory Sandhagen. Once again, Figueiredo selling out, trying to enter a leg lock, and maybe this is a better attempt. He did use it to leverage the top position, but he's actually put himself in a dangerous leg entanglement of his own. Cory Sandhagen's now looking to enter on the legs of Figueiredo and come out the back door. He actually may have an interesting heel hook attempt here. Nice job from Figueiredo to blend through that, but you're seeing Cory Sandhagen come out in the top position, and he might have just hurt the knee of Figueiredo. I think Figueiredo's quitting. It's over. It's over, guys. Figueiredo just blew his knee out. Horrible to see, but absolutely no surprise for me in terms of the result. I thought Cory Sandhagen by a mile, and my only regret is that I didn't bet it in the end. But Cory Sandhagen inside the distance, there it was. Oh boy, KO, guys, we'll go back to it for just a second. I don't know what they're going to call that one, Moise, but I think that it's going to go down as a TKO due to leg injury, if I had to guess. So, guys, if you see here, Figgy's an awesome fighter, but I think his time is up. Sandhagen KO, ITD, under, fight not to go the distance. I hope y'all enjoyed. Easy money. Easy money. Wow. What a night. Guys, what a fucking night. What a night. Elite main events favor the younger fighter. Damn straight. Damn straight. Guys, it's the saddest part of the industry, but once you've been around for a long time, you see it. There are very few happy endings in MMA. It is a brutal game. And if you stick around long enough, you will be the bug and somebody else will be the windshield. So, brutal, brutal night. Brutal night if you are a Figgy supporter. But I think Figgy, last year, right, I put together a, bantamweight title picture, essentially, right? And by the way, not to toot my own horn, I said that the most likely guy to be the champion was Merab Dvalishvili. I said that it was most likely that Sean O'Malley was going to lose that title belt. And I think that when you look at the dark horses, this is where it becomes interesting, right? At the time, you had a Deiveson Figueiredo who was 2-0 in the bantamweight division. And I had said, like, this guy, they're going to try and match make him accordingly to get him some wins and see if he could break through and be that next guy at 135 to challenge for the title. Everybody likes Figgy, nobody's got a problem with Figgy. We all like to watch him fight. Great win at UFC 300, right? Goes out there, gets that win over another former champion in the 135-pound class. You could sell it that way. So I thought, man, maybe Figgy's got a chance to, sneak his way into the title picture. And then they announced the fight with Petr Yan. And I was like, well, that's the end of that, right? It's not going to work out. And unfortunately, the UFC matchmaking model is built to get you out the door when you're ready to go. And look at Michelle Waterson, right? She's on commentary today. Who was her last fight in the UFC? Any guesses? Jillian Robertson, who absolutely beat her within an inch of her life. And frankly, the fight should have been stopped. If it wasn't her retirement fight, it probably would have been stopped. And that is the kind of thing that tells you, like, the UFC is not very kind, even to people they like on the way out. Anthony Smith, who'd they give him? Ming Yang Zhang, undefeated Chinese guy with a huge amount of power, with devastating knockout ability, and who really wants to be here. And I think right now, Deiveson Figueiredo is 50-50 on whether or not he wants to be here, because he's a former champion. And you know who's really hungry and wants to be a champion right now today? Cory Sandhagen. And today he took a huge step in that direction. I said all week, thought it was going to be a statement victory from Cory Sandhagen. Let's go ahead and refer back to the document. So I'm going to share my screen here. We'll go to our Roto Grinders main card preview, and we'll see what it looks like here. So, oh, by the way, guys, favorite DFS targets on DraftKings? How about it? Cory Sandhagen and fucking Reinier de Ridder. I don't know my shit. How about that? I hope somebody fucking took down DK for me today. Hope y'all took all the fucking money from all the people that were fake sharp on Nickal. God bless. Hey, how about this? Cory Sandhagen defeats Deiveson Figueiredo via KO flying knee. All right, we didn't get the flying knee. We had the KO for Cory Sandhagen. What was the last line of the article? I think this fight is going to be a statement victory for Sandhagen, and I expect a stoppage. Bing, bang, boom, clean as it gets. Cory Sandhagen, put the money in the bag. Simple. I hope you guys enjoyed. Listen, if you guys want my write-ups every week, if you guys want my betting previews, my predictions for every single thing that I do, all the research I've ever done, compiled in one little area for you, join the Patreon. If you don't, salute. What will we do? We'll be back here to go over it all on the show next week. And I hope that you guys enjoy each and every time. If you guys have any questions before I get out of here, go ahead and fire them off in the chat, whether that's about the upcoming UFC card, anything that we saw tonight, upcoming matchmaking. I'll give, another 10 minutes or so to being on the air. And then I'm going to cut it off for the night, take out the dog, get started on my work for next week. Because what do we always say? The bookie's not going to pay you for the work that you did last week. So we celebrate the wins, but then we're right back on to work. And we've got Canadian opportunities abound, right? We got some title fights on the horizon. We got some pay-per-view stuff on the horizon. And I think that when you look at, the upcoming cards, I'm already seeing some lines that I might have to take advantage of, some underdog prices that I think are a little bit disrespectful. So ultimately, guys, I had a great time tonight on the stream. If y'all don't have any questions, that's all cool in the gang. We could just call it tonight and come back at it for next week. We will have a great guest for Bets and Banter like we always do. We might even have a power panel like we did last week. If you guys have feedback, thoughts, comments, who do you want to hear from? You can fire all that away in the chat. You guys can hit me up as well. You can find me on social media at LiamPicksFights. I hope that you guys subscribe to the channel if you're not already. I hope that you guys drop a like on this video if you enjoyed it. And I truly hope that you guys made money today if you were betting on the sport. If you didn't, I hope that you enjoyed the fights anyway. And I hope that we can get you back on track next week. All I can do is try my best each and every week. Lord willing, it was a great week this week. Hopefully we can keep the same happening next week. So wanted to thank everybody for your time. Thank you for your attention. Peace, love, prosperity to each and every one of you guys. God bless you all. Have a wonderful night. Come back next time because we're having all the same fun again. Thanks, everybody. Take care.